SportsCenter, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. You see there Anthony Edwards and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Those guys are the top two scorers in total points in the NBA this year. First time they met in a conference or NBA Finals, top two since Steph and Harden a decade ago. Ant drawing first blood, the three over Chet Holmgren. And then the man who was the man in the first half for the Wolves was that guy, Julius Randle. Corner three there, Timberwolves up 5. And then Edwards driving, you heard the whistle, and you see him grab that right ankle. He rolled the same ankle in the Lakers series, did it again in the Warriors series. Something to keep an eye on as this conference finals goes further. He would return. Second quarter, game tied. Swing it to Julius Randle. Knocks down another three. A minute later, Randle just unconscious shooting early. Another three. Minnesota up by 3. Here comes Ant. Back onto the floor and very quickly feeds Randle, who had 20 points in the first half on 5 of 6 shooting from 3, finished with 28. You see the numbers there. Julius Randle, and he was all over the place. I mean, he's in the corner, he's at the top of the key, he's on the wing. They're all going in. Third quarter, though, different story. SGA and his cousin, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. The battle of the hyphenated Alexander cousins. Here we go.
It's gonna get confusing.
Yes. Game time 6. There's a lot of names in here. SGA gonna take Naw off the dribble. Thunder up by 2. Later, SGA loses his cousin. Such a great mid-range game. And then gets bumped by Ant. Great body control, knocks that down. OKC went on one of their runs, a 17-2 run in the third to the fourth quarter now. Chet Holmgren spinning and crunching. Thunder by 11. Then SGA on the floor, goes down, and makes the ball go down. Thunder up by 14 after the made foul shot. SGA had 31 after a miserable first half. Lou Dort, he's good for a couple of threes over in the corner. He's counting them up. Next Thunder possession, Case and Wallace. Up top for Jalen Williams.
Wait, what's his nickname?
Queso. We learned from Chet. And then, yeah, there's the exclamation point. Punctuation is important, kids. Thunder outscored the Wolves 70-40 in half 2 and win it 114-88. So they were down halfway through the third quarter, and they win this in a runaway. Thunder now 6-1 at home this postseason, outscoring their opponents by 176. That's an average of more than 25 a game. Best point differential in a 7-game span at home in NBA postseason history. Yes, ahead of the 2016 Cavs. Yes, ahead of the 2014 Spurs. Both of those teams won the title.
Tim Legler is here. It's not that the Thunder were down. It's that they were down at the half. They were down midway through the third. Then they outscored the Timberpups by 14 in the third quarter. So how did they find their groove? How did they get it together?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was able to get to his sweet spot. And that's the mid-range area of the floor. In the first half, Minnesota did a great job of forcing him to either be a deep jump shooter or everything was at the restricted area. He only had 2 mid-range jump shots in the entire first half, and he went 2 for 13. He comes out to start the third quarter, and this is the one he wants right there. He goes full speed. Nobody stops on a dime the way Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does. He gets that little lean back jumper. He was also aggressive here, as you could see him around the rim, that time with his own putback. But this is the shot that has defined Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's season and really the last several seasons for him. It's that 18 to 20-foot jump shot off the dribble in a one-on-one setting, and he was able to get to that. And I thought it calmed his team down. When you start to see your best player operate with efficiency, everybody starts to calm down, and then they stay in their lane, and then Oklahoma City's defense took over.
Because he wasn't shooting well in the first half. Right. He only had 11 points in the first half. It wasn't just their offense, though, in the second half. If you think about the defense, they calmed Julius Randle, and then, of course, in the fourth quarter, we'll get to a little bit more of Anthony Edwards, but at the end of the day, he had 0 points. So when you look at what the defense was able to do for OKC, what impressed you the most?
You know, think about what OKC did this year as a team. These things shouldn't go together. Number one, in defending the three-point line, while defending the paint at the highest level. Like, those two things shouldn't go together. And also giving up the fewest points in transition. That's what this team is defensively. That's their identity. And you saw that on full display in the second half. Outscored them 70-40 in the second half. And this defense swarming, picking up every 50-50 ball, the activity with their hands. And I just thought they made Minnesota's life miserable. Minnesota took 50 3-point shots in this game, almost twice as many as 2-point shots. That's not who they are as a team. And Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, and Anthony Edwards, of course, not able to get anything in the paint at all. Not enough balance in their offense.
Just real quick, what's your level of concern when it comes to Ant's ankle?
Very, because when this game was still within reach, 10, 12-point game in the fourth quarter, Anthony Edwards has erased those deficits by himself. He could not get to that shot going left where he pushes off his right foot to get separation. This is the play. He hurts it. I believe it's the first quarter. The entire second half, he did not take any jump shots going to his left, which requires you to push off on your right foot. He might not say it after the game. He might want to ignore it. I think it's a factor. At least in this game it was. His aggressiveness was taken away from him from that point on. It's not an excuse. OKC played great. They dominated in the second half, but it was a factor. You can't deny it. He'll have 48 hours to figure it out for game 2.
It is something to watch before Thursday's game. That's Tim Legler.
Still to come on Sports Center. Here's Timberwolves coach Chris Finch.
We didn't have a lot of patience in the second half, and then our rushed offense, didn't get a bunch of quality looks, and then it affected our defense. Honestly, we got some fouls early, which I thought made us a bit softer than we needed to be, and then it was just. Then when we did get good looks, they didn't go down. So.
You mentioned the defense became a little softer. Was that the main issue in your eyes on that end of the floor in the second?
Yeah, I think it was, like I said, our offense affected our defense, and that can't happen. And, so.
Chris, the amount of good looks it seemed like you had from three. I mean, how do you feel just about?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of good shots out there. I think we got to clean things up a little bit. Sometimes the passes were late. Sometimes we weren't quite shot ready. Sometimes we need to turn them into other plays. But I did think that we got a number of really good looks. And we really couldn't connect when the game was kind of turning against us. So.
And Julius was great in the first half, and then did they just really kind of load up on him in the second half?
I didn't see necessarily anything different. That's on me. I got to get him the ball. I got to get him more involved to start that second half. So,
Coach.
Coming up on SportsCenter, more coverage from this game, one of the Western Conference Finals. We have Tim Legler.
Okay.
He's standing by. That is a promise. You're also going to hear from Anthony Edwards and more from Shai Gilgeous.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you like the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we noticed that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.